There we go. We are live. Hello, everybody. Good morning or good afternoon, depending where you are in the world. Thank you for joining us today. We are set for a really fun webinar today. Um, Today it's a little bit different. We got the topic is we're just doing a general Q&A, but we do have a special guest here today. So everyone say hi to Yoon. She is project manager on the team. She's gonna go over her role and kind of a little look behind the scenes. We thought it'd be kind of cool to give people a chance to find out a little bit of how things work behind the scenes here at inFlow and everything like that. So just because it is a little bit different than usual, kind of a couple quick rules or kind of just how it's going to work today. We're going to let Yoon do a nice introduction to herself and everything, and we will open it up for questions. So anyone, if you do have questions specifically for Yoon, so that can be product related questions or kind of like some of the behind the scenes things, you can type them into the chat, and we will do our best to answer them. Once we've answered all those, we do have some things that we can go over, some of the kind of cool recent releases that we've had here with inFlow. If you do have specific troubleshooting questions, at the very end we can kind of go over some of those. Again, it being a general Q&A, we can kind of try and go through that. Otherwise, just email support@inflowinventory.com and our wonderful support team will be able to help you anytime. And yeah, this is just meant to be light and fun, so I hope everybody is going to enjoy and participate and have a great time. So, without further ado, everyone say hi to Yoon. She is the star of the show, and
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
sure it's a lot. It's a lot of pressure to put on somebody, but you know.
Have you considered a
uh,
career in like show hosting? Oh my goodness. Thank you all so much for, I guess, coming to the webinar, and I'll keep this brief. I'm not gonna talk too much about myself. But I have been with inFlow since 2013, so math, 11 years. Yeah, it's been quite a while. In 2013, to give you an idea, we were still, we hadn't launched inFlow Cloud yet. inFlow Cloud was 2017, and we were still in the days of inFlow on-premise. And slowly, I've been with the company for quite a bit, and really privileged to have been able to see it grow.
I think you've
Yeah.
had kind of a couple different roles over those years, right?
Yes, yeah, I first joined inFlow as I was on the support team, so I was answering emails and helping to troubleshoot and chatting, you know. And then from then on, I moved on to a QA role. So when the developers, fix any when they develop any features or they're fixing, bug reports and things like that, I would help to test them and make sure, it works the way it's supposed to work. And then now I am in the product manager role, which I'll talk about later.
Awesome.
Um, One fun fact about myself. Oh, that's rough. Well, I guess fun fact, I am originally from a country called Malaysia. So I technically can speak two languages, English and Malay. A little bit of Mandarin, Chinese. I can order some food in Cantonese, but um, Malaysia's languages has always been really, really mixed. They're a pretty diverse group of people. And yeah, and it's a great country, great food. So if you've ever had Malaysian food, let me know in the chat. I will always want to talk Malaysian food with people. Yeah. And my favorite feature, or one of my favorite features that we've released that I've been a part of has been the recent inFlow Document Designer, also known as, I guess, Web Custom Docs. I think we'll share a little bit more later as well, but it's been a long time coming, we've gotten that request many, many, many years now, and there were a lot of reasons why we couldn't do it, immediately. But we have since done it, and it's been really great. And yeah, we were hoping to expand that to be able to customize more documents. But for now, you can do a lot with the document designer for your sales and your purchasing documents. So I hope you all check it
I
out.
know
Yeah.
It's definitely something I know I've been pushing for a long time as well too, and that
Yeah.
none of us like having to deal with words mail merge and all that kind of stuff. Whatever, it was
Don't say
so
those
difficult
words.
to get laid out right and everything like
Mm.
that. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Thank you very much. So yeah, so then how about just a little bit about the inFlow product team?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go over really briefly. I know there's a lot of words on the slides, but you know. So what is the product team responsible for? So to give you an idea, obviously the main goal is to improve inflow, right? For all of you as much as we can. And a lot of that boils down to, and this is a direct quote from our co-founder, to make sure we're building the right thing and we're also building the thing right. So the product team is pretty big. There's about 21 of us, and we've got kind of little sub teams. We've got the design team, who essentially is responsible for all the pretty colors and where all the button placements are, and also in a lot of workflow, specific to make sure your user experience is great. There's the developers who actually build the thing, the feature, and there's the QA team who test the feature, make sure it works, works well, and it's not giving any problems. QA also is responsible for bringing up questions like, oh, what about if a user would, run into a particular error, what kind of error message would show up, that kind of thing. And for the product manager, we work closely with the rest of the team to figure out what to build. And I'll get into that a little bit more. And there's a bunch of challenges, that we face, of course. As much as we want to build everything, our wish list for all the features that everybody has ever asked for is very, 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 very long. We can't build everything, so there's a lot of prioritization that goes into it, figuring out what we should build, and even the thing that we want to build. For example, the inflow document designer, we could probably build everything. It would take forever, which is not great. So we have to cut scope, right? We have to decide what's going to go out in the first iteration, things like that. Design has to balance form and function. Or I saw this tweet the other day and I thought it was cute. Make it pretty but practical. And for developers, there's a whole magical world of developers that I don't really understand because I'm not a technical person. But from what I understand, when they're building the feature, there's limitations, there's technical difficulties in how to structure things, and so they've got their own challenges, and of course they don't want to you don't want to be in a position where you're writing bad code that we eventually have to, I don't know, strip and do again. And QA, of course, has to test all of that. QA is probably you know the I huge kudos to our QA team. They are often very meticulous and detail oriented, and you have to be, right, in order to really make sure that we're delivering the best experience to you guys. um yeah, can you go to the next
I
slide,
think you
please?
also
Oh,
you touched on one thing really good there too. I think you mentioned like iteration on kind of some of these. I don't know if you can say anything about kind of like the thought process behind that or anything, but I think it is kind of cool how a lot of the time we may want to kind of get a product out there, I guess, or like part of a product out there, I guess, to both get, I
yeah.
guess, like feedback and stuff like that as well, and like how that may kind of shape things.
hmm Yeah, we definitely, if a project is big enough, and I guess isolated enough, and again, I'm gonna keep using the document designer as my example here, but we opened, we sort of had not an open, a closed beta, so for anybody interested, and who has ever asked for the custom documents to be improved, we reached out to them. We were like, hey, do you wanna try our document designer? Right? Like, I mean, obviously it's not a complete thing, and there's always risks with the beta, but I think we got about 150 people on the beta, and like, they provided so much useful feedback, and like, this is ultimately the kind of thing that we really want to keep doing with you. And for future projects, yeah, if you've ever asked for a feature, most likely you will be reached out to when we're, planning to develop that feature. Um, yeah. Um, Oh, okay. Yeah, next slide. Sorry. So, specifically, what is the product manager responsible for? So, as I mentioned, a lot of it is figuring out what we're gonna build. Um, and to do that, we do a little bit of research, market research, competitor research, and also user research. So all the feedback that you ever provide to the support team, when you're talking with them, all gets recorded, and we all, we do read through it, and it's compiled. uh, there's How do I put this? We kind of try to sort it by feature. So in the future, if we decide to develop, say, I don't know, mobile notifications, we're gonna go to the to the folder, and we're gonna look through all of those, the feedback, and then use that to kind of um to shape what we're gonna build. It's not always gonna be, what everybody asks for. There's other things that come into play as well. But yeah, that's primarily what we do at the beginning of a feature project, I would say. And then when to build it, that's typically, roughly depends on the developers that we have and the, CEO business strategy directive. Um, and and yeah, we are responsible for how it's built. So we work very closely again with design, developers, and QA. And all of that is ongoing, and it's kind of like a cycle, a continuous feedback loop almost. So everything that we're working on, we share with the sales and support team so that they know how to sell it, how to support it. We'll share it with the marketing team as well. So it's kind of an ongoing thing. I'm really proud to say that every feature that we work on has the presence of everybody on each team. Not everybody, sorry. One representative from each team to to advocate for the customer, for trialers, etc. Um, yeah,
And
we're going too
it's
fast.
fun being able to collaborate and be kind of a part of all of those. I know I probably speak up too much in some of those meetings, giving
No, it's really good. And to give you an example, originally we, for timing issues for the inFlow document designer, it was originally only going to be the sales and the purchase order documents, and not the shipping, the picking shipping documents. So pick lists, packing lists. We were not going to include that then. It was going to be like a later phase, and Phil advocated for it. And it made it in. So it's really great. Like, just talk to your support, talk to your customer success managers. Yeah.
awesome. Okay.
That's it.
Um,
Oh, sorry.
there
Yes.
we
So,
go.
just to, I did want to, in case you are not aware of this, you can look at what we're currently working on. The URL here I've put up is roadmap.inflowinventory.com, and anything under the planned tab is what we're currently working on. So we're working on lot numbers and expiry dates. We're working on a simple way to scan in and scan out products from, a storage location. The email designer is coming up next. Single sign-on support and QuickBooks. I believe it's not quite a two-way payment sync, but there is some payment sync improvement that we're working on for QuickBooks. So, and anything in the under consideration tab is things we are, considering. For sure, go to it, click on the feature that you're interested in, and leave your email and your business case for why you might need this. And we read all of this, and it's really really useful. And also, especially, you can also rate like how important this is to you, if it's nice to have, important, critical, etc. You can also see how many other people have asked for it. As you can see, 52 people have asked for a lot numbers. There's actually probably a bit more than that, but you can kind of tell. So yeah, and I believe I'm done. I guess we can. go to questions now.
Sure. Yeah. No, I was gonna say trying to group all those kinds of things together can get tricky since everybody kind of words things a little differently and stuff. But yeah, it
Yeah.
gives a rough idea kind of thing. And again, we always encourage everybody. Again, you can use the roadmap. You can also email us at support@inflowinventory.com, or come chat with us online with our live chat and stuff like that. Again, we love hearing your feedback. We love hearing like your suggestions and things like that on way that we can improve. And we do. We literally record every single piece. We have like a dedicated spot that we actually put it all, where like even like our CEOs and co-founders and stuff like that look at it as well too. And then they do try and use that to I guess like gauge like the interest or like how many people it might impact and stuff like that. So yeah, no, that's awesome, and thank you so much for that kind of like behind the scenes look. Again, not everyone may know we are a smaller company, but we are kind of like rapidly growing. I think we're up to in the 60s now, I think, or something,
I
or
think
close to
so.
60s.
Close to 60, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, again, we're not like Microsoft huge or something like that, but we do try to listen to everybody and do as much as we can. So, so yeah, so we'll get into some of the questions. I do see a lot of them coming in here. Again, kind of try and keep them a bit more, I guess like project related and stuff at first. I do see some people asking some kind of more, like inflow related questions as well, which we can go through as well too. Um, I know the first one I had seen there was from Carolyn asking if inventory counts using the scanner. Are they able to create an inventory scan report with the scanner like they do on the desktop version? I believe I'm not sure if that's something we added to the web app just recently. Uh,
Inventory scan. Oh, like a count, like a stock count.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, not yet. Mobile stock counts is planned, but unfortunately not yet. We are working on improving the mobile experience, and that is coming down the line. So
And I was just double checking too. In the web app, we did add the ability that we do have like a dedicated scan button now too. So if you are using like
yes.
a scanner connected to your computer or something like that, you can do it there. But yeah, as you said, with the mobile app, that will be coming in the future. Let me just see. Sorry, I'm just scanning through these. Faisal had asked if my customer orders some products and it's not available, but they took the product after it comes. Let's say it's the sunglasses and they ordered 10. First batch it comes 2. Second batch it took 3. How can inFlow use to put? Sorry, how can it use to deduct and allow them the remaining product each time they took? Um, I mean, I'm sorry, maybe I'm misunderstanding the question, but in the actual like sales orders themselves, when you are fulfilling them, there's like a separate fulfill or pick tab depending if you're shipping them or not. And in there, you can actually specify how many have been picked at each time, each line, so you can have the same product repeat multiple times on the same order under those fulfill tabs. So you can have multiple dates and multiple locations on there. So each time if you are receiving some, you would just have to then add like another line to that same sales order, taking that extra stock out.
Yeah, but if it's not available, it should automatically split the line for you, right? So
Yes, that's correct. So yeah, if you're hitting like the fulfill or anything like that, or like the autofill, then yeah, it'll have it separately that way. I know
how to enter product with the same name? That's an interesting use case. Do you know if you would if you want to maybe send an email to support later, I would be interested to hear why that would be necessary. But for right now, that's not possible. Uh, Otherwise, you can imagine records. Everything's kind of tied to the inFlow product name. So if you've got the product name that's the same, like two products with the same name, then you're not really going to be able to differentiate the orders that go to which product. So, um, yeah.
Yeah, and so we also have the SKUs need to be unique, and recently we added in the that barcodes need to be unique as well. Same kind of
Yes, yeah.
reason. Like otherwise, we're not sure kind of which ones you would want to be putting on your orders. So yeah, I mean, again, if you have a use case for that, definitely let us know. I see Patrice had some good feedback. Drop downs for retail stores would be great. Size and colors. I know variants, I guess.
Yes, product variant, size, color, etc. Is has also is quite often wish listed. Um,
I think we're supposed to be doing voting on some of the stuff that's coming up
yeah,
that we'll be
yeah,
working
we
on
are.
soon. So who knows? Maybe. um, how does inFlow handle bin locations for loose pick bins versus pallet locations?
Um, I mean, probably pretty similarly. I think loose pick bins. Um, yeah, I guess that would be a little bit uh different. You could probably set a default sublocation and then keep picking from there, but yeah, for loose pick, I don't know. Yeah, maybe Anthony, if you want to shoot us another email as well, we'll reach out and chat with you for your business case. Like why, maybe what are the current problems you're running into as you try to use inFlow with this? Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I can't
I'm.
imagine that would be too different. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not sure exactly. I guess what the difference between the loose pick bin versus a pallet location. Like, I guess is like the loose. Would you just have a bunch of things in that like location altogether? Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, if you reach out to us, we can definitely look into it more. Otherwise, like what Yoon was saying, where you can set like a
The default
default
sublocation.
sublocation,
Yeah,
you would
where
just
it's
do that.
at right now is not great. Unfortunately, we might be changing where that lives soon.
Okay.
But yeah, the default sublocation lives in the reorder settings.
Yeah, and so I got that here up on the screen. So if you go to one of your products at the bottom, you should have reorder settings, and then in here, so you can do it per location, but then you can set a default sublocation. And that I believe we'll use actually both on like purchase orders and sales orders when available. So
Do you want to show
as
the picking option as well in settings?
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
So
that's under
inventory picking
picking
options.
options.
Yeah, so it'll prioritize taking
I think
stock from your default sublocation, and then you can choose either alphabetical order or just always pick from the sublocation with the highest quantity. So you can kind of
I
get some stuff done that way, but yeah.
think Anthony also followed up just with a little bit more detail, saying basically we sell shoes 2 locations per SKU. A location equals a loose pick bin for quick pick,
Hmm.
and pallet is storage up top for storage. Same SKU, multiple locations.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah. Probably the sublocation would, yeah, you would probably do it that way. And then whichever one you pick from most often, I guess you would designate as your default sublocation. Um, the Batarang. I forget
yeah.
how fun your sample database is.
I always
Um,
like to keep mine fun. Okay, I see lots coming in, so we'll keep moving on. I see. Is there a forum for discussing inFlow with other users? Right now, the best spot would probably be our Facebook page. We do have an inFlow inventory group on there, so you can definitely join. And lots of people ask questions each month and help each other out and kind of thing like that. So I saw Nikhil was also giving thumbs up for drop down custom fields, so we will record the feedback from this as well too, and kind of like upvote these things as well too. I know they've been talking about ways that we might be able to enhance custom fields in the future, so hopefully that's something that will be coming down the pipeline too. Steve had said, we appreciate the API and leverage it heavily. While the Zapier integration is nice, is make.com on the roadmap? They're currently using make.com and webhooks with inFlow, but a deeper integration would be great.
oh, I see. Like another task workflow management thing.
I was gonna say, I haven't personally heard of make.com myself. At the moment, I guess there's no plans for like an integration with something like that. I if it's a task manager thing, I assume extensive would not connect to it or anything like that either. So it's
Yeah.
again, it's definitely great feedback. We appreciate it. We'll record that and kind of again, squeaky wheel gets the oil and stuff. So if more people are kind of looking for that stuff, then we might be able to. Um,
So
Anthony had, yep, go
sorry,
ahead.
I see Kiri's already responding to some questions in the chat, so um I know at the
Yeah,
risk of
some of
doubling
the
up.
stuff we might already have. Yeah, just sending articles, answering.
Oh,
Oh,
um,
Anthony had said, what is the best practice for using inFlow for using ShipStation for shipping? What is the advantage or disadvantages of using inFlow for fulfillment? I'm not super familiar with ShipStation, but I think that isn't that usually more for like actually like the tracking like the labels and everything like that as well, or at least I guess in like our use
yeah,
cases, it's
shipping management, I guess, yeah. I mean, inFlow is definitely more of the inventory side of things. We do have an integration with EasyPost for shipping. Um, and yeah, so you could do it that way. But if you are using ShipStation for shipping, then I'm not sure. I'm not super familiar with ShipStation either, other than just it helps to manage, yeah, like you said, labels and all of the shipping. What's the word? Workflows, but yeah, the disadvantage of is always having to kind of go between different systems. So we do recommend our Easy Post integration in that sense. But yeah, understandable if Easy Post doesn't have all the features that you are used to in ShipStation.
I see Darren asking if it's possible to hold up to 3 decimal places for our costs. So that's, yeah, definitely another piece of great feedback that we can pass along to the team. Thank you very much, Darren.
Uh, Sorry, I just
Yeah, go
it
ahead.
should well no well we okay so I believe cost actually is supposed to go up to 5 decimal places. So like the cost itself in the product page, it's supposed to go up to 5 decimals. And if it's not, then that's probably a bug.
Okay.
But that is cost though. Unit price does not do that. And we do have um some 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 rounding, like where it looks like it's 2 decimals, but all the back end calculations are up to 5 decimal places. So, but yeah, we'll look into that. That's probably shouldn't be happening. Thanks, Darren.
Danny had said, I love that you can drag and drop items and stock transfers. Will this be added to sales orders anytime soon?
It will, Danny. I'm really, really excited to tell you this. It has been you can probably tell that our the stock transfer, the stock adjustment, the stock count page all look very different from our sales order and our purchase order page. It is the last two that are going to get a revamp, and in all the all the features that are in the others. So you can select multiple products at a time. You can drag and drop items. They will be added to sales orders. It's taking a while because we are essentially improving the layout of the sales order page. There's and so we want to get it right, and so it's taking a bit of time, but it will come. It will come soon. We are actively working on this. Thank you.
Awesome. Always excited when things like that get updated and released to everybody.
Yeah, I just realized that I actually haven't put a card for that in the roadmap, so that's why.
Anna, I saw had a question pertaining to the weight of her customer's order. Each product has an associated weight. How can I calculate the total weight of a customer's order? Unless you can think of a better way, I know you can do this actually with the new document designer. So you could actually have it calculate the weights and display them on like your printed documents. Of course, if you just want to see it, you don't have to print it, but when you pull it up, it'll have that calculation and stuff on there as well. I think that would be the main way of actually being able to do it, right?
Yeah, yeah, and you can kind of see sorry, not kind of. You can definitely see it in the desktop app. If you I believe if you hover over the freight field, Oh, you have that handy. Nice. And that that
I'll
change,
pull
sorry,
up
not that change, that feature would also be coming to the web soon, most likely. Um, where did your app go?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just gonna pull up something here. Give me one sec, because I'm not sure if these actually have
Oh, yes,
weights to
personal
them. And yes,
identifier.
don't
Yeah.
want to have any of that. Um, actually, while I'm getting this to pull up, I saw Jack had asked when we'll be able to send custom email for each supplier. Some of my suppliers are French, Spanish, or English, and I have to change the text anytime. Did you want to speak on that for?
Oh yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, we are working on the email designer, so or well, email templates, I guess. And yeah, you would be, I believe you would be able to do this. I'm not on that project, so I don't want to overpromise. But if you like, and if the email designer team is still looking for users to talk to, if you don't mind, I can, we can pass your tech on to them, and if you're interested in being notified when that's available, which should be soon, yeah, let us know.
Yeah, for sure. Just again, send that email support at inflowinventory.com. And yeah, I know I saw some stuff with it, and it's pretty cool. You can set kind of different templates for different document types and stuff like that. I'm not sure if you can do multiple per one, but yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. And so just speaking to the weight, like Yoon was saying on our Windows desktop app, I know it's a little small on my screen here, but if you do have weights associated with your products here. So like 125 grams on this, and I've got another one here that's 50 grams. When you click on the freight, estimated total weight here says 175 grams. So it does have that in there. And again, using the new document designer, you can pull those values as well too. So you can actually have that like printable or something like that. So.
Mhm.
Let's
Also,
see.
someone just
How do we
tested
manage
Colin.
orders that have?
His
Sorry.
cost
Yep.
does go up to 5 decimal points. Sorry. Colin
Oh,
actually
nice.
did test
Okay.
it for us. So
Okay,
thank you
great.
for that, Colin.
Yes. Okay, great.
There we go. So that's good to know that that's not broken or anything like that too. So thank you very much for testing that out and letting us know. Um, let's see. How do we manage orders that have custom or varying discounts? inFlow doesn't recognize discounts, so it always leads to a sales pull error since the total sales don't match the regular price. So I assume that's talking about like with integrations pulling in the.
Yeah. Yeah, we do recognize discounts. It's just that it is on a per item discount. So if your order from, I'm not sure which sales channel it's on, but if it's like a total a total discount off, sorry, discount off the total of the order, then yeah, it does take some, inFlow always wants to try and match your final amount, and so we'll do some adjustments based on that, fortunately. Um,
And I think that's usually a toggle, like an option you can set in the integrations, whether you want it to make that adjustment or stop and give you that error. So you
yeah,
may, if you are getting just errors, you might be able to just turn on that option so that it'll make an adjustment instead, and then you won't get the integration error. But yeah, you kind of gotta choose which one which one is better for your use case, kind of thing. Rick had asked, we have an integration that works with JotForm. If he had a form scripted for his text to create and pull a sheet to remove product from stock and add to a specific project, can I build an integration that filling out a form in JotForm can trigger an action in inFlow?
well, this looks
So we
cool.
don't have an integration, unfortunately. Oh, is that JotForm?
Yeah, sorry. I was just looking it up. No, yeah, we
um,
don't have an
yeah,
integration with
unfortunately, we
JotForm.
don't have an integration. We do have an API. Sorry, I think my internet might be going a little wonky, so if I talked over you, I do apologize. Yeah, we have our own API that you could, if you have like a developer or something like that, potentially build some kind of integration that way and be able to then use that information to both either take information from inFlow or put it in. But that would have to be something that you would build outside the program itself.
And we have a Zapier integration as well, which is probably not similar to Jotform as I'm looking at this now. But with Zapier, it's for pulling information out of inFlow. I don't believe you can do any triggers uh, for within inFlow yet.
Yeah, not right now. It's kind of just like high level, like order information and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
Mhm.
we may be able to add the other stuff later on. Awesome. I see so
Oh no,
many
Phil,
things
you're
coming in.
in trouble. Please add the user that made a stock adjustment.
Oh, I'm what?
Yeah, Phil, I think your internet is revolting. Revolution. Sorry, Jenna. Yes, please add the user that made a stock adjustment. I have to use the clunky desktop version for this, and making it mandatory to put a reason. Oh yeah, we debated the idea of making reason mandatory, and eventually decided against it because we didn't want too much friction in there. Um, um, but yeah, okay, we'll consider that. Uh, as for the user that made a stock adjustment, I believe, yeah, Phil's showing that out right now. You can go to the team member tracking report and you can see who, did um, the stock adjustment. You can filter it down for stock adjustments. And well, Phil, you did all of those. Yeah.
but
um,
but it does show whether you created or updated or anything like that too. So
mhm, yeah. Okay. You want to pick the next question,
sure.
Phil or
Yeah.
Kiri?
Sorry, I'm just reading down there. Darren had said sales orders are totaled by value. Can this be expanded to include totaling other fields such as volume and weights, etc.? So this is another thing that the document designer can do.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
cool.
yeah,
So
also the same in the desktop that we showed. We only showed weight, but it does do total volume, estimated total volume as well. And you
have
can,
measurements on mine, so it won't show.
yeah. But it is possible, and that will be coming, hopefully, to web soon. It'd be great if we get more specific. Oh, okay. And Anthony earlier from the was it the picking question you had? But yeah, Anthony,
Yeah,
please
it
feel
was
free
related to that.
to reach out on your use case. Like normally, actually, Kiri probably has a better idea of how your CSM calls go, where you talk with someone and they give you your business use case and you tell them, all right, here's how you should set it up. You know,
This is
book a
essentially a
chat with your.
CSM call, this whole webinar.
There we go.
um, Speaking of, I know a really good one is coming up too is Travis's. Travis is actually one of my clients, and he's brought up this topic before about Amazon FBM.
Mm,
How it currently doesn't pull over customer personal information when you're
yeah,
shipping with FBM. And I know this is something that we've had discussions about too.
yeah.
Because I know the big thing is that personal information needs to get deleted afterwards, and we don't really have anything in inFlow right now that has that capability at the moment. But I'd love to hear.
Yeah, and well, it doesn't, like, we don't control that information. Amazon itself, it just, doesn't, as far as I understand, doesn't allow that information to go, to come to us, probably for data protection and all of that. And you can apply, I believe, to get that. And I feel like we had this discussion recently, right? And it
We
was
did, yeah.
yeah, so we're still looking into that I guess that application and all that. It was pretty in depth, I think, but I'm so sorry that this has been um useless for you. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, it's definitely something we've heard and they're
Yeah.
looking into. It's just I think there's a lot of like regulations and things we have to then like conform to be able to do it. So
Yeah.
it's a work in progress kind of thing. I
There a
see
way to
Ali. Oh, go ahead.
So I was just reading Ali's question. Is there a way to pull SOP or BOM to Excel from the web version? Yes, Phil is gonna demonstrate right now.
Yep, you go to your menu to export, and then you should have them all right here where you can pick like your POs or your
Uh,
SOs.
all except manufacturer orders. Sorry.
Yes.
But bill of
Um,
materials is there. Yes.
Bill of materials is there, and with your sales orders and purchase orders, you can also choose like a date frame to kind of narrow it down if you don't want everything. But you do also have your bill of materials, and you just hit export, and it'll download for you, nice and easy. Export any of the, sorry, Darren had also said export any of the print docs to Excel would be useful rather than PDF. Um, oh, I think actually, so in the web now we have an option where on the reports,
Yeah.
instead of hitting the print button, when you hit save, you can choose to save it to like a CSV.
Right. Yeah. It's just the reports, though. I think. Like, if you were to do a document,
Oh,
I'm not sure that that's print.
yeah.
Then, yeah, unfortunately. So
Yeah,
only
no,
the
that's
reports, but yeah.
some great feedback too. Thank you. Uh, okay, here we are. John had said I only have one centralized stock location in inFlow, but deliver items to any of our other 6 locations. When I transfer stock from centralized to another location that does not have a place in inFlow, how can I see the burn rate for that? Or are burn rates only calculated for locations that are in inFlow?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by does not have a place in inflow. Like, so you're not tracking the 6. So yeah, it really depends how you've organized this in inflow for our centralized, sorry, for use cases for centralized distribution. I think there's 2 ways you can go about it. Like, one is to have all the locations in inflow and you use stock transfers to manage that. Um, and then, that gives you an overview of all, 7 locations. Um, but of course, the stock transfers don't have, item values and things like the person requesting it and things like that. So if you want more visibility into that, then the another way is to treat your 6 locations as customers, and then that way your sales report is essentially, your stock report, I guess, of things that you've sent to them. So that's kind of 2 ways to go about it. I hope that answers the question.
Awesome. I see John had, can unit of measure be a global setting? Most products are the same unit of measure, but I still have to go through the keystrokes to choose them.
Uh, yeah. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. Are you adding like are you frequently adding products to inflow? Because this, I mean, one thing you could do is just do a quick export and import to set the unit of measure once and for all. Um, but yeah, unfortunately we do uh we can consider a setting for it, I think, but most likely.
Well, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
the other thing you could, if you are kind of creating products a lot, or maybe like individually creating them, you
Oh, you
can
could do a
also go
copy.
to like go to an existing product and hit copy, and that should keep all like the like measurements, so like your unit of measures and stuff like that as well, and then you can just modify that information on the copy itself. So that way you're at least kind of just starting with like a template and you wouldn't have to set everything necessarily every time.
Bill, is that your internet again?
I'm not sure. I think
No.
I'm still here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Sterling had said, if I change a product's unit of measurement, will it change the count or for past reports on said product?
Uh, Good question. don't. I don't
I know in
think
terms of like
so.
sales orders and purchase orders and things like that, changing a unit of measure on a product does not affect
Not
the
ch-
past historical orders.
Yeah, so I don't believe so. Otherwise, it could get pretty bad. If it does, let us know. But I don't think it should be doing that. Yeah,
As far as I
typically,
remember
whatever.
as well, it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
typically,
historical information should stay. Sorry.
mhm. Yeah, no, go ahead. Thanks.
We are getting close to time, and I still see we got a lot in here, so we may have to kind of stop taking questions soon. But we can try and kind of rapid fire through some of the ones that are in here. Um, I see Austin here had said he had been working with his customer success manager. He needs the PO number to push from inFlow to QuickBooks. He has to copy it manually. It's tedious and seems like the request is lost in a pile now. Also, I drop ship a lot, and the company name of the shipping address never pushes over either. Thank you kindly for your time. I guess this is kind of like another feature request that unfortunately, I mean, as you kind of pointed out earlier, we get lots and lots of requests all the time, and unfortunately, we don't have, I guess, the manpower or the ability to add absolutely every single thing. It's definitely not like lost or like hidden away or anything like that, but as she kind of went over, like the teams have to kind of prioritize, I guess, like everything that kind of comes through to see what will help the most people or what also, I mean, some things may also be a lot more
Mm.
difficult to make changes to as well too, and like integrations I know are kind of one of those really big complicated things.
However, we do have a team working on improvements to the QuickBooks payment sync right now, I believe. I don't want to overpromise, but I think what you're asking for is going to happen. I will check with the team and then we'll let you know. For the PO number to push and for the payment, I believe we're expanding the payment options that are allowed, I believe. But yeah, we'll check with the team and we'll let you know, Austin. And sorry about the dropship one. Yes, that should be pushed over and it hasn't been. So.
That one from Colin that I think
Um,
sounds a little interesting. Any interest in adding more features to the reorder stock feature? So mainly seeing any products that are also close to their reorder point. So when we order one product on a PO, instead of having to do that one PO, then having to do another PO the next day, say when that other one hits its reorder point. So if there is almost
Oh,
like a
okay.
threshold of where it's like,
Oh,
hey, these
yeah.
other products are close to hitting their reorder point. Do you want to add
That's
them to this PO? I was like, it's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, saves time and well, not time, but saves sending multiple POs to your vendor who probably is not impressed with that. Yeah. I think we have improved reordering as like a loose sort of thing we know we want to do. We did reordering, I believe the last update we did was about a year, 2, 3 years ago. So probably, yeah, I think having a threshold, like you said, Kiri, would be good. Um, and we're always looking into improving inFlow, so we'll definitely add that idea into the improved reordering folder that we have stored. Thanks, Colin. That's great.
I see kind of a few suggestions and stuff here that we can kind of quickly go over as well too. Travis was saying that he'd love to see a shipping scale integration into the Easy Post integration, just that it's sometimes easy to hit the wrong number and then a package gets listed at more heavy than it really is. So the ability to read from USB scale would be cool. So that is definitely a really cool suggestion. And I know Jim was also saying if we were able to add more information to Zapier, we could use that to push information to ShipStation. So that would definitely be an awesome thing as well. Heather had asked, will we open up the search criteria for the mobile app so a person can search for items by vendor instead of just product name or category? That's it's an interesting idea. I don't know. I don't think there are any plans for it at the moment, but that's definitely something we can take into consideration for sure.
Yeah, that actually gets asked a lot. Like if you're, if you're purchasing, why are all these? If you're purchasing, you have a vendor selected. Why are all these other products from other vendors showing up? So it's not that uncommon of a request. Unfortunately, no plans right now to change the search criteria for the mobile app. But keep keep the feedback coming. Eventually, it'll change.
Surprised that's the first mobile app, and it seems like the only mobile app question today.
Question? No, no, no. The first question was a mobile stock count question.
Oh, fair. You're right. You are right.
I do see Colin had asked, will the new sales orders be smaller? Currently in web, they're so big you can only see a couple lines. I think they're gonna be more similar to like the stock.
Yeah, it's gonna look similar where you've got your header, and we are gonna make the header more compact, and then primarily, yes, the line items is where the bulk of where you're going to be working in the order. It's planned, Colin. It's definitely planned.
Faisal had said from web to Windows app, which do we recommend? And last time when he was on the web on descriptions, he saw a red check mark and it says that it's going to be removed and why.
Oh, I guess that's the legacy setting
Legacy
for
settings.
product name and product description. Yes. Yeah, I'm not. I think the SKU project was quite some time ago, and I wasn't on it, so I don't quite have all the insights there. Forgive me. But I think name and SKU, when we did the research, was probably the um um more commonly used field, especially between integrations. Um, and and description is more like an external thing, like something you put on your sales channel, and you like SEO, well, you really really optimize it for sales and things like that. And inFlow's description should be used for that, I guess, and not really for your internal use, where it might take up a lot of space and all of that within the order. And it's you can still use it. We just moved it out of the way, and um, if I don't know that we're yeah, I guess it's just a little warning there that we may remove it in the future, and that's really only if like the usage goes way 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 down. And if you keep using it, you're probably okay. You know, it should be fine. Um, and oh, for web versus Windows app, which do you recommend? Well, yeah, we have been adding more features to the web for sure. It's I think our Windows app has been with us for a while, but
It looks old. It looks tired. It's been doing its work. It's been its work, but all the new stuff, the new and shiny comes to the web app. So
yeah, fortunately. I don't want to speak too much here because again I'm not I'm not technical by any means. Um, but the web app runs on a different I guess code, and the desktop app that also runs on a different one, and it's more finicky to deal with from what I understand. And yeah, eventually we're still going to try as much as possible to make sure our if you're using the desktop app, like you're not going to be too impacted. But yeah, most of the new features, for example, the document designer, which we're going to show soon, I think, right, Phil?
yeah,
The document designer, like all of that things, the dragging and dropping and all of that, that's just much easier to do on the web app. So apologies.
Yeah. Colin, I know, had said currently auto-assembled products give a warning that they will go negative when picking. Any plan to change this? I believe it shouldn't, as long as you have the correct setting picked under like your products. I know I have some here that are like build. So under like the manufacturer settings, I think it would have to do with these, right? If it's showing negative when it has to be assembled.
Yeah, so if you set it to auto assemble, yeah, so when if you don't have enough, it shouldn't. Yeah, sorry. So you want to set it to auto assemble after sale, and you want to set it to, I guess, combine quantities. That way it won't show that you have a negative because it's taking into account the quantities of your components. So if you have it to separate quantities, then it probably looks like you don't have enough when you actually do. But you should still be able to auto assemble, regardless. And if you don't have enough quantities of the components, then inFlow will give you an error and say, hey, we can't actually make this or help you auto assemble this because you don't have enough.
Okay. I think we'll do like maybe two last ones, and we can kind of run through some of the new features. That we won't go in depth on them or anything, just because we are running kind of long on time and stuff. And then yeah, we will do a giveaway actually as well today too. And I appreciate everyone. This has been so many things coming into the chat. It's awesome. It's really good to see everybody asking questions. So I did see Heather was asking if a person can turn on and off the cost on items. It'd be useful if a customer is standing beside you. They can see only the price and not the cost of an item. But we don't have a way of doing that, especially not like, I guess, like on the fly like that. Um, I mean, normally I would think that they would usually only be seeing the sales order side of things too, which wouldn't really be showing the cost. But
Where was this? But I think you could do access rights, yeah, to hide cost, but
you could, but I mean, that would be if somebody's just like coming up and like standing beside you, you're not going to log out and log in as a different user or something like that. So I mean, it is good to say for sure. You can set like an access right where team members on your team cannot see costs. So if they go to a product like the details page, then they won't see it. But
yeah.
yeah, unfortunately, nothing that you can just like toggle quickly, I guess. Yeah, and I think we'll go over the things quickly. There's too many, I think, for us to get through all right now. So if we didn't get to your question, I do apologize. If you want to send it in to us, we would be more than happy to go over it with you through our support team. Again, you can either send it at support@inflowinventory.com or come into our chats or anything like that. But yeah, there's been lots of questions, which is awesome. So I just wanted to highlight kind of. Oh, sorry, Yoon, go ahead.
Well, I mean, Heather was asking if we can make the web app invoices look like the window invoices, and well, I think this is a good good segue into the info document designer, I guess.
Yes. So here we go. So yeah, so these are kind of three of our recent releases that came out that I just kind of wanted to highlight. We may go on and do like bigger webinars on them later down the line once they've been out for a little bit and stuff. But just at least kind of highlighting them, letting people know that they exist. And of course, first up on here, it came out on May 7th. So actually, it's been a month already, like officially since it launched. That's crazy. But we've talked about it many times. The Document Designer. This thing is amazing. You can access it by going into your settings, either through the menu on the left and going to Options, or from your email and going through here. And then under Orders, you'll see this nice, bright new shiny Documents button. And in here, you can set new document types. Actually, sorry, I have an account with some on here. Right here. There we go. And here you can actually customize basically all of your sales or purchase order documents. So you can change the way that they look. You can change the information that's showing on them. You can do it all in a really nice, easy designed interface. So you'll see all the different types right at the bottom there. If you want to create a new type, you can click on the top and choose which one it is. Or if you want to start with like something as like almost like a template, you can click on the little dots and duplicate it. Um, but just kind of showing really quickly, this is just like one of my sales order ones that I have in here. And everything is made to be as easy as possible. So once you highlight or hover over anything, they highlight. You can see like a little trash icon if you want to remove something. You can drag and move things around if you want to change how they are on the screen itself. If you want to edit anything, you click on it and we'll give you a whole bunch of options here on the side. So like here's my actual product list. If I want, say, my product name and everything to be a lot bigger, I can actually drag these over and change the size. I can also go in under the product and I can actually like choose what I want to show. So if I want to show an image or not, I can turn that on and off. Things like the description. So I know we had that one question about description. This you can actually toggle on and off as well if you want that to print on like your documents. And you can actually go through and like remove these things as well. If I don't want my tax code on there or I don't want a discount or something like that, you can take all those off or add them all on. And then basically once you hit save and close, it'll update that document. And I'll just quickly open up the sales order here. And when you hit print, you'll see all the different types on there. And if you have multiple of them, you have like a little number. So this one you can see that I've got 2. And then you can actually choose which one you want to print. So you can choose any of the ones that you've modified and stuff like that as well, which makes things really easy. There are tons and tons of different things that you can change on here as well. You can add more options, more fields, different things, and we even have for more advanced or like developers or anything like that, you can actually use code to create like different information on the screen as well, which is really cool and really handy. Actually, this is completely built using it as well too. So all of this, we do have a full knowledge base article on it that you can find on our website. Yeah, this was something I was super excited for. Do you have anything you'd like to say about the document designer? You and I know both you and I were part of this project, but I know you said this was one of your favorites. So
Yeah. Sorry, I missed it. Did you show the custom text box that you can add? Because I think that one might get missed time. So you can add a static text, so like thank you for your purchase or whatever, or here are all the bank details for you to pay me when you buy my things. You can really format it, and this I believe is quite a big game changer, maybe. And I think we frequently get a lot of questions of, can this, why can't I see this in desktop? We will be bringing not the designer itself to the desktop app. Unfortunately, the desktop app can't really handle that, but in a future update, we will be sort of linking it. So from desktop, if you are primarily a Windows app user, there you will have the ability to hit print, and it will load up the your designs document that you have done so in web. I probably will just open a web browser for you in that case. But yeah, it will be accessible by desktop soon.
So yeah, 2 other quick ones that we'll go over. We also recently, so this was actually one of our really recent things, customer vendor payment history has been added. So this was something again that our Windows app had, but that we did not have a way of doing this in the web app. So now when you go under your customers, or your vendors, either one, we have this nice new payment history tab. that will show up. Here you can see all the different orders that have been invoiced, if they've paid or if they have like an actual balance. You can filter this based off of different time frames. And then what's I know really, really exciting is that a lot of people have been asking to be able to create customer statements for people. So again, this we've given a few extra options on here than what the Windows app had, but now you can actually choose like a time frame for which ones you want to print for. And then you'll be able to actually generate these customer statements and send them off to your customers themselves. And because I know a lot of people have also asked for it as well too, it is an option that you can do like multiple at a time. So you can actually select, I believe it's up to 20, if I'm not remembering wrong, 20 at a time, where you can then select them and you can actually then print a customer statement for them. Again, you can kind of still customize which time frame you want to do, and then it'll print out all those different statements at the same time. So another really cool thing that's been added. Anything you want to highlight, Yoon? Oh, I don't know if it's my internet or if I just can't hear you.
Sorry, I was muted. Hi. No, nothing much to add. Just that I believe that is the last of the documents to have made it into web. So all documents and reports that are printable in desktop are now available in the web. So last piece.
And then the last thing that I just wanted to highlight, so this one came out a couple months ago now, but we now have attachments in the web app as well. So this was another thing a lot of people had asked for that we were missing. Pretty much anywhere in the program itself, so like on your documents, like your sales orders or your purchase orders, you'll have this nice new little attachment button up here at the top. If you have an attachment on there, you'll see a nice little number telling you how many. You can click it and you'll be able to see it right in there. We have tried to make it easy. You can drag and drop your files right into there, kind of thing. So if I want to put another one in there, you hit done and save. And it is also nice and helpful that it will only most file types are allowed, but if you do try to add something that, like for instance, isn't, like this is like an installation file or anything like that, it'll just give you a little error saying that that can't be in there. But all the main types, so like documents, pictures, videos, all those kinds of things are available that you can add. And again, this can be done on pretty much anywhere. So like your products as well too. If you need to add attachments to like assembly instructions or like a manual or different things like that too, you can keep it all together nice and easy. That's it for us for today. Again, sorry we went a little over time, but thank you so much to everyone for all the amazing questions and feedback. And everyone give a huge thanks to Yoon for taking the time to come and talk with us today. I know it's not something she does every day kind of thing, but we're super excited and hope that kind of giving you a little bit behind the scenes and stuff is kind of helpful. Anything you want to say, Yoon?
No, thanks
It puts you on the
again.
spot.
And yeah, go to our roadmap, upvote, leave comments with your CSM with support, and yeah, thank you so much.
And thank you so much to Kiri. I know you were answering a lot of people in the chat and everything too. So we will do our best to get back to people, and otherwise just send in your questions to us, support@inflowinventory.com. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, bye.